Hey, what's up guys? In this video we are going to integrate Socialite in our application. We'll learn about how to integrate social logins like login with GitHub, Facebook and Google. So basically if you learn how to integrate one, it will be basically same. Just the process of creating this app, OAuth app, is different for different providers, but the main interface that Laravel Socialite provides is exactly same. You don't need to make much change, so we'll talk about how we can do that with much less line of code. So let me show you. Okay, so here we have webdemi.taste. So this is basically our website, webdematics.com. So here I have created new website for you where I am just organizing my YouTube series, and I'll be posting more exclusive content here. So yeah, so here in register you'll see normal register and register using GitHub. Similarly in login you'll see login with GitHub. So basically these two buttons will do same. We'll see in a moment. So if someone clicks on register using GitHub, it will just ask for permission that you basically see, but in my case it didn't ask because I already authorized. And so it is directly, browser is saving my credentials, that's why. For first time you might see some pop-up with authorized window. So here it will take us to the main page or series page where we can see all our series. So we'll talk about this website in later videos, but for now let's talk about social login. So this is the local version of exact same website, so I'll do it here. So first thing is to add this button login with GitHub in our login view. So before doing that, you can pull in this Laravel Socialite package, which is offered by Laravel as a first party package. So just run this command. While this command is running, we'll go to our login.blade file, which comes with default installation of Laravel, or in Laravel 6 when you do make auth or UI auth command, it will generate all these login scaffolding for you. So here is all default basic code that Laravel provides, and here one new thing is we'll add this button. Let me make it a bit bigger. Maybe, yeah. Okay, so we'll add this login with GitHub like so. Okay, so basic button with this href. So this route we haven't defined yet, so I've named it social login.redirect, and I've supplied this GitHub. So why I am supplying this is, let me show you route that will make it a bit clear. Alright, so these two routes are for social login. So you just need to add these two routes, one for this redirect. So whenever you click on that button, it will redirect you to the provider, and after the provider processes your request or your permission, it will redirect back to this URL, our app. So let's see that workflow over here. So let me open it up on guest window. Yeah, okay. So here if you go to register or login, same thing. Let's register using GitHub. Yeah, so whenever we click on that register button, it will take us to the GitHub. Alright, so that's what we are doing here. So we are supplying this URL, and then we are defining all logic in this controller at this method redirect to provider. So let's see that provider inside auth login controller, redirect to provider. Here we go. So in redirect to provider, we are just doing Socialite driver and then redirect. All right, so that's it. So this is responsible for taking us to the provider page, whatever the provider might be. So we are supplying this provider and making it general rather than just putting GitHub, Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, or any other provider. If you wish to integrate in future, it will be quite easy. So this provider is we are supplying from our login blade. So whenever we click on that, it will hit this route and it will take us to LoginController and then hit this method. All right. Okay. So if we wish to add for Facebook, just duplicate this route, Facebook. We don't need to do anything, just Facebook here. All right. It's Facebook. Similarly for Google, just do Google here. Okay. So pretty easy. You just need to create app. We'll see in the moment. For now, let me comment this out. Let's complete this GitHub workflow, and then it will be same thing. You don't need to do anything extra, learn anything extra. If you learn how to do for GitHub, you can do for any other provider. Okay, so we are at this point. It will redirect us to this GitHub. Okay, so from here you can just log in. So whenever you do login, it will authorize your app, and then it will take us back to our website. All right. So that's it. So so let me show you again. So I want to explain one thing, but okay, so whenever we hit register or login with GitHub, it will take us to this page. So here you notice one thing. So it is saying sign into GitHub to continue to this YouTube webdemo test. So we need to define this app to configure all these texts and all this default URL. So if your application name is anything or your business website, you will have to provide your logo, your name. Okay, so after you defined your route, like these two route for redirect, and then in your login controller just define this route, and then you need to head to GitHub, log into GitHub, then you need to create that app, right? So that you can configure all these and provide get the access token or secret and client credentials. So after you log into your GitHub account, you need to go to your settings page here. So in your settings, developer settings, and here OAuth app. So I have couple of apps. So remember, you see this. So I've already created. That's why you see like this YouTube webdemo test. So yeah, here I've configured all, but you need to do. So what you need to do here is create new OAuth app, and here just supply any name you want. Like I have supplied this, and then home URL, whatever the home URL your app is, and then any description, and authorize callback. So this is important, right? So here you need to supply the callback URL that you have defined over here in your web.php. So this one, so callback, this one callback, right? So this callback URL is whatever our base URL, and then social login, and then provider placeholder. Here provider placeholder means GitHub, Facebook, or Google, anything. And so in for GitHub you need to supply the GitHub and then callback. All right. So only thing that will be different for any other application or any other social app like Facebook, Google, you just need to replace this thing with Facebook or Google. That's it. Everything else will be same. All right. So once you fill up all these credentials, and then register app. So it's a valid URL, right? So valid URL http, like so. In case you get that error, just make sure you do http or https, whatever your website is. So once you authorize that or create that app, you'll get to this page where you'll get your client ID and client secret, which you need to copy. Just copy client ID into your .env file and just create GitHub client ID and then paste this client ID. Similarly, paste this secret, like so, and GitHub redirect URL. So that redirect URL will be this URL. So GitHub will compare both URL, the URL you supplied here and URL you supplied in your .env file. So if that both matches, it will say, okay, this is the correct app that is making request, and it got all these client secret and ID. That's why it is totally legitimate, real genuine app. Okay, that's why. So this need to be exactly match this thing. All right, so in my case here is webdemo.test. Just ignore whatever this is. Okay. So by the way, I am using these credentials so that you won't confuse. So I'm using these credentials for this application right now. This application webdemo.test, and yeah. So let me make sure, yeah, this authorized URL is matching. That's it. Okay, once that is done, you need to go to config and services. So in config services, you need to just add this entry for GitHub. Yeah, this name, this key name should be exact like GitHub, Facebook, Google. This spelling should match, and client ID, client secret, redirect. So this will be same for any other one, like for Facebook. This will be Facebook, and all these GitHub stuff will be Facebook. All right. Similarly for Google, you can create. So what this is doing is this is just pulling from .env file all these credentials that we just defined in a moment ago. These, okay. Okay, so that is pretty much it to set up GitHub. And after GitHub, after we get to this page, okay, after we get to this page and enter our credential and then sign in, then GitHub will read and redirect us back to this URL. Okay, so this URL, and let's go to this URL. So this URL is pointing to this method on LoginController. Let's see what we need to put there. Yeah, so this one, handle provider callback. So what we are doing here, by the way, if you are confused from where I know all this stuff, so in documentation, if you go here in documentation, it is telling everything like redirect to provider that I just showed you, but instead of this I used dynamic. I supplied provider and then I used like this instead of single provider. All right, to save some code. And similarly for handle provider, it is saying this is how you get user. All right, so once we get user, we can do whatever we want with that user. All right, so like so here, so from here we get the user, right? So GitHub will redirect back with some information about user. So Socialite will help us to grab all those information. And so if you are curious, I will show you what this user model is model looks like, because you guys might be curious about that. So let me log in again, enter it will hit that route and should dump the data. There we go. So it got token, refresh token, nickname, name, email. Okay, so these are the main thing we need so that we can fill these information in our user model or user table, right? So it got a lot of other information as well. For now it's okay, we just need email and name. Okay, from here we got the user. So this user is the user in GitHub, right? So this is not yet in our database. So in second step we are checking if we got the existing user or same user with same email in our database, if there is any user already there. So in that case we won't create new because it will anyway throw error because email field is unique in our user table. So user.get email, so we'll get these entry from, we cannot directly access these are private properties, so we can just grab this email using get email method. So we are checking if there is user with that email. So if there is existing user, we'll just log in the user and then redirect user to the redirect path. So redirect path is just this path, whatever you supply here. Okay, so by the way, you are if you are curious what this redirect part does, so it checks if there is redirect to method already there, so then it will return that method. So if that method is not present, it will just return the redirect to property. So you have option to define redirect to method here instead of this property. All right, so what is the advantage of creating method? So in method you can do several other logic so that you can return the final URL. So that is out of the scope, or if you don't understand, you can just, if your final route is just simple, you can just put it here. So in my case I want user to get to the register, sorry, this series page /series, that's why I'm supplying that. Okay, so after user is redirect to this sorry, if there is existing user, then it will return the user to that page, and that's it. All right, so no further, these code won't execute. So if that is not the case, user is brand new user which didn't exist in our database previously, we will create that user. So we'll get the name using this get name and then email. So this password I'm creating just some random password because that user won't need password if that is login in with social login, because if that is an existing user, we are just logging in using this model, this method, auth login method. So password won't be needed, but one option is you can make password nullable and avoid this step, or if you don't supply this, it will say you cannot leave password null while creating user. So instead of that, you can just do this. If in future you might want to give some password to user, or if social login didn't work, user can directly log in using name or email or this password that you can email the user. Yeah, that is good to have. So we create the user and then we will log in this user, this newly created user. I'll call it new user. Yeah, so we'll log this new user in, and then same thing, we'll redirect user to our home page. So that's it, that is all about it. Yeah, you already see that in action. Let me show you complete workflow once again. Log in with GitHub. By the way, at this point we have just done register with GitHub. So if user, so it won't matter, because if there is an existing user, we are redirecting to home page directly without creating user. So this register, this button in register page or button in this login page are same. This will also take the user to same workflow, log in, and then take them to series page. That's it. Yeah, so we have added this in register.blade, this exact button. Just copy this button into login blade, same thing. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so if you want to add like Facebook, these other options, yeah, just do it. So main code is reusable. We have already written both redirection code and then callback route. Oh, I've said that many times. Today I'm repeating same stuff. Okay, just ignore it. So all three buttons are in place. Next step, just go to services, just duplicate these entries, Facebook and another for Google, or if you want to add any other, you can do that. So Google, that's it. Just go to .env, just duplicate these. Facebook, and you need to go to Facebook site and obtain this client ID and all stuff. So you can go to developers facebook.com, I think. Yeah, developers.facebook.com. So log in to your Facebook. Alright, so once you are logged in, just go to my apps and you can create new app. So I have created a couple of apps. Okay, once you got to your app inside this product Facebook login, or you can add new product from here if you do not see Facebook login there. Alright, from here this list. So in Facebook login, you can go through quick start. So it will ask you this web, and it's quite easy. So after you done all these steps, you should get here, or you can directly go to settings and then you see these auth login enabled. So valid OAuth redirect URL that I just already talked about, the social login and then Facebook, and yeah, that's it. And then once you save changes, okay, looks like Facebook wants so client credential afterwards. So when you first create, it will show you client secret and ID, and just copy them into your .env file. That's it. Yeah, similarly for Google also you can do. So Google OAuth app, you can just go to Google OAuth app. It will take you to developer console. So Google API console, you can directly go to console.developer.google.com. yeah, from here you can create new project, or if you have already any project that you want to use, or you can create new project. So I have this project already, you can go to that project, and here inside credentials, so you can do create credentials, and from here OAuth client ID. So OAuth client ID, once you do that, so it will ask exact same thing like you did in Facebook. So we are making for web application or Android or Chrome. You can just follow these steps, and yeah, here same thing, authorized redirect URL. So same URL that you use for Facebook, Facebook or anything. You just need to replace Facebook with Google, everything else will be same. So just Google. Alright, So looks like this test URL, these URL don't support, so you might need to do .com for or you need to use real website to test these. I think I couldn't test this on local. So yeah, once in your production it will work perfectly fine. Or you can do you can just, yeah, there is another workaround to test in local, but once you do for GitHub, GitHub allow you to do in local development virtual hosts like test domain, but these Google don't allow in test domain, right? So once you do for GitHub, everything else will be same. I have already show you, like you can create this like redirect URLs and then create. After creating, you'll get to your console, and yeah, here you got client ID. Just copy these. Yeah, so you can get client ID and secret. Just put them on your these corresponding keys. So for Google, we need to put in obviously in Google here. So once you fill up all these, after going that, you don't need to touch any code in LoginController. This is already general code. It will work for any provider. So this is for this kind of application where you have like simple normal application, you can say. So nowadays, I mean, if you are consuming these API from your front end or any single page application, because nowadays these are many more popular, like so more use case will be from Android, iOS, or any other device that will be requesting to the API. And if you are making API in Laravel using Socialite and you want to allow your Android device or any other device to access these endpoint via URL, so what I mean by that is, here you can see the, let's go back to login page. Yeah, so in this kind of application you see the login button here and you hit this, but in Android this won't be, this will be on any other device, different device. Okay, so that device need to redirect to the same thing. So everything will be same, just we are redirecting. So one thing happens behind the scene is Laravel is tracking the session. So from where you, suppose I clicked from this website, it is tracking this website. After it redirect back, it will track the same session if that exists or not, because it checks whether same website is making request for redirect and then callback. So in case of API, that won't be case. You won't be making from same website because your front-end application will be on different separate device. So in that case, you just need to do one step. You just add stateless, like so. Just stateless flag to make it work. So without this, it won't work for API. So just put this and you'll be good to go. Everything else will be same. That's it. You can find that information here as well. Yeah, stateless authentication. Just add this stateless and your website will be stateless, like, yeah, for APIs. So someone asked me how to do for API, how to do for that. Yeah, this is for API and without stateless for normal application. Alright, so that is it about the social login stuff. Hope you learned something. Please keep like, subscribe, and provide suggestion, or check out this webdematics.com website. It is going to be cool website. I'll be posting some exclusive series here. So here is blog also. You can get in touch with me. I'll add some like forum or any discussion, like, yeah, you can suggest me forum where you can request some videos and we can discuss, because in YouTube comment you cannot post images, like some of you guys said I got this error, I got that. So if you can paste the screenshot, I might be able to help you better, but in YouTube comments you cannot do. So for particular videos or any other queries, although there is Slack URL, you can join that, but if that didn't work, you can visit to webdematics.com, and then you can get in touch directly, or you can post your query in forum, which we'll be adding in couple of days. So yeah, you can check out this website also, and I'll see you on next video. Bye.